Unit 14 Applications of Positive Psychology in Everyday Life. 14.2 Introduction. In the previous units you have learned about the constructs of positive psychology. In this unit and subsequent units, you will learn about how we can use positive psychology constructs and principles in different areas to improve various aspects of our lives. In this unit, you will learn about applications of positive psychology in two crucial areas of parenting and schooling, which are responsible for building the foundation of children. Children are the future of any nation that needs to be nurtured. They need to be equipped with necessary life skills so that they reach their optimum development and contribute to the progress of the nation. However, our young generation is not a homogeneous group. They come from diverse backgrounds that can impact their growth and development differently. Two significant sources of influence on the lives of children are their parents and their school. Hence it is important to understand these two aspects in a child's life so that they can facilitate comprehensive development of the child. Positive psychology with a focus on what is good and what are the strengths in the individual, has the potential to contribute to the all-round development and well-being of children. In the present unit, you will learn how positive psychology principles and constructs can be applied in the school context and in parenting practices, resulting in a happy, healthy, and resilient future generation. The Center on the Developing Child, Harvard University outlines 3 core principles as the building blocks to promote positive outcomes for the growing children. These are: A. Responsive relationships with parents, B. Strengthening of core skills such as cognitive skills, emotion regulation skills in the child, and C. Reducing sources of stress in children that will make them resilient and contributing members of the society. Both schools and parents can play a huge role here in creating conducive environment at school and home to reduce stress and facilitate positive development of children. Children enter the school with various levels of expectations, motivation, fear and anxiety regarding how their needs will be met, how others will interact with them, how they will perform, and how they will maintain their self-esteem. These are influenced by various demographic and cultural factors. Hence parents need to be aware and responsive to their children's worries, fears and concerns. At the same time, both parents and school can take care of building up skills in children so that it reduces stress. 14.3 Positive schooling. Schooling can be considered as the foundation of a child's life. The type of school, nature of the teachers in the school, interaction with the school staff, experience acquired at school all influence the development of the child. A positive school experience facilitates learning, achievement, skill acquisition and personality development in children, whereas a negative experience at school hampers proper development of children and leaves them inadequate in their knowledge and skills. What does schooling aim at? Schools are the second home for children and teachers are like their second parents in the early years of schooling. Schooling needs to provide the best of experience to children so they feel cared for. It should impart such education as to instill confidence, and make them self-reliant. Children should not be overloaded with information in the name of education. The aim of education is not only to impart knowledge, but going beyond it to develop character and wisdom in children. The ultimate objective is the harmonious development of a child in physical, mental, social, emotional, moral, and spiritual aspects. This will help children to achieve happiness, success and well-being for themselves, and also contribute to the welfare and happiness of others. When a child goes to school for the first time, what do they look for? They look forward to being given love, care, affection and support, that they are listened to, feel involved and given opportunities to explore and learn. What are their parents' apprehensions and expectations? They expect their children are taken care of, are safe, no harm is caused to them, and they learn, acquire knowledge, and gain success and achievement later in life. All this is possible when we create a positive school environment. All children, irrespective of their background and abilities, must feel safe, welcome, and included in the school, and not discriminated, stigmatized, or humiliated and punished. Principles of equity and inclusive education must be embedded in the learning environment to support a positive schooling climate. How do we achieve this positive schooling experience? There are 3 dimensions to positive schooling. Physical dimension, it includes proper infrastructure in the classroom and also in the school, proper facilities such as good laboratories, playground, availability of clean drinking water, sufficient toilets for all, provisions for children with disabilities and so on. School should have clean and green space and an inviting, stimulating ambience. Psychological dimension, it needs to provide opportunities to promote the cognitive capabilities and psychological well-being of children. Use of innovative teaching methods can sustain the interest of children in learning and lead to creativity in them. Proper disciplinary practices will help children develop self-regulation and promote their mental health. Socio-emotional dimension, the school climate needs to feel warm and welcoming. Schooling needs to develop self-awareness in terms of their emotions, attitudes, beliefs and values, and interpersonal skills. It provides various support services to take care of the emotional and mental health needs of children. Thus, positive schooling aims at creating a positive school climate where children feel safe, included, and accepted, and it actively promotes positive behaviors and interactions. It attempts to integrate body, mind, and heart to achieve comprehensive development of children. Schooling aims to not only educate children, provide them training in different subjects and make them ready for future career. Schools are also the training ground for inculcating values and disseminating culture, developing compassion and promoting well-being of all. A whole school approach. In addition to the focus on children in school, positive schooling also needs to address the other stakeholders to create a positive climate at school, which will foster positive development in children. Thus, a whole school approach needs to be followed when we talk about positive schooling. It proposes to adopt whole school thinking where everyone in school thinks and acts in terms of ensuring a positive school climate. Promoting mental health and well-being is everyone's concern. As Ware puts it, well-being and mental health is everyone's business in an authentic whole school approach. A whole school thinking needs to engage the whole school community and start with a positive and universal focus on well-being. It is characterized by the following main aspects: engaging students in different aspects of schooling such as learning, voicing their opinions, decision-making. Explicitly teaching social and emotional skills, attitudes and values to students. Engaging well-trained teachers and conducting periodic training of teachers to update their knowledge and skills. Providing support services and interventions to help students facing difficulties, disabilities or any hardship. Engaging parents and families in school activities. Engaging specialist staff to cater to specific needs of students with difficulties, follow a teamwork approach, and have provisions for referral service. Thus, a whole school approach has multi-components, which encompasses and mobilizes the totality of the school experience to promote well-being and address mental health issues. It needs to focus on students, teachers, school leaders, school staff, and parents all working towards a common overarching goal of creating a positive school climate, which will ensure mental health and well-being of all. An example of a successful whole school approach to using positive psychology approaches in the school context is the Positive Education Program of Geelong Grammar School of Australia. It used the science of positive psychology to improve student and staff well-being and help them flourish. According to Seligman et al., positive education, which aims at preparing children for achievement and success in life, which most schools teach, and also increasing their happiness, well-being, resilience, and flourishing, which most parents want, can form the basis of a new prosperity, which values both wealth and well-being. Positive schooling and positive education, is there any difference? Positive schools and positive education both are similar, but they differ in significant ways. Both started around 2008 and aim at achieving well-being of the school community. However, they are different in various key aspects. Positive education focuses on the individual well-being, thus indicating that being well is an individual responsibility, whereas positive schools considers the entire school as a social system which highlights the contextual responsibility. For example, you are not only concerned for your well-being but also that of others around you. Thus context is the primary focus in positive schooling. All the teaching and learning practices are rooted in a healthy contextual development instead of having them as distinct teachings on well-being. It focuses on creating a cultural ethos that supports implementation of various well-being strategies. Further, unlike positive education, which utilizes extrinsic motivators for positive behaviors, positive schools focus on autonomous motivation that will actually facilitate well-being in action in the schools. Thus positive schooling adopts more of a socio-psychological approach, putting more emphasis on the context. 14.4 Challenges in Indian schools. Although discussion of the concept and meaning of positive schooling can be universal, implementation of it needs to consider the socio-cultural context. The contextual factors including the demographic variables, the socio-economic background, and the value system will influence the methodology and approach to positive schooling. A basic challenge of Indian education system is, does our schooling system promote learning or achievement only? As stated by Chanda, creating conducive learning experiences for adolescents will not only lead to academic achievement but also facilitate holistic development of children and adolescents. School education also emphasizes more on cognitive development while neglecting the social-emotional learning and mental health-related aspects. Krathwohl's taxonomy of affective domain of learning highlights the need for focusing on the affective/emotional aspects in any learning context. As pointed out by Kubohar and Ngussa, affective knowledge significantly impacts our cognitive learning. If the child does not see a need to learn, then there will be lack of involvement and lack of motivation to learn. There are a number of other challenges faced by our schools which include lack of infrastructure, lack of facilities, lack of space, student-teacher ratio, insufficient number of teachers, disrespect for teachers, bullying, problem behavior, low attendance in school, dropout from school, and lack of parent involvement. Further, it is an exam-driven system with disproportionate focus on marks. The school curriculum lacks in practical application and relating to context of the students. Although with the implementation of the National Policy on Education, learning is expected to have more relevance for students as it will involve multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary approaches. These challenges need to be addressed for having successful outcome from a positive schooling approach. Thus focus needs to be on the following. There needs to be proper infrastructure in the school, a comprehensive curriculum focusing on the all-round development of the child, ensuring quality education, well-trained teachers having dedication and commitment, appropriate disciplinary methods, caring and supportive school staff, motivated students, and a visionary leadership. Addressing the mental health concerns of not only the students, but also that of the teachers and the staff, the entire school community, is important to create a positive and happy school. Parent-school partnership needs to be strengthened, and there needs to be more collaboration among all the stakeholders in the school system. Adequate budgetary provisions need to be ensured and policy changes be made for achieving the goals of positive schooling. 14.5 Applying positive psychology to schools. Children today live in a very complex world dominated by media and technology. Their lives and interactions are governed through social media. This has affected their development in all aspects. Digital world is the reality, and changing ways of functioning and interacting is also a reality that cannot be avoided. However, we need to equip our children with the core values and strengths that they are resilient enough, can function effectively in the ever-changing world, and thrive in their life. They learn the life values to share and care, and contribute to humanity. Positive psychology, with its focus on bringing out the best in human beings, can transform the school experience of children and enable them to achieve success and well-being. Children and adolescents today are facing lots of stress and anxiety due to the changing nature of the society, increasing use of media and technology, and decreasing value systems. As reported by research, at least 1 in 8 adolescents is at risk of mental health problems. Hence it is crucial that we address this need of ensuring positive mental health and promote flourishing within the school community. As Waters points out, a school curriculum that incorporates well-being will ideally prevent depression, increase life satisfaction, encourage social responsibility, promote creativity, foster learning, and even enhance academic achievement. 14.5.1 Components of positive schooling. When we apply positive psychology in the school context, we need to ensure that the foundation of the positive schooling is based on care, trust, and inclusivity. Snyder, Lopez, and Pedrotti have advocated 6 components of a positive schoolhouse. Foundation level of this house consists of care, trust, and respect for diversity. First floor consists of plans and motivation. The second floor consists of goals. Third floor consists of hope, and the roof indicates contributions to the society. All these 6 parts together form the structure of the positive schoolhouse. A caring attitude by the teachers towards the students and a sense of trust for the teachers by the students are important in contributing to good academic performance as well as psychological benefits. Care and trust become crucial concerns in case of children from disadvantaged and difficult background. There also needs to be an acceptance of the diversity of attitudes, beliefs and functioning of the child based on socialization, culture, class, race, ethnicity, age and gender. Positive schooling approach talks about deciding the goals for each student, i.e., the contents of learning and the curriculum. It needs to involve practical learning experiences, relevant to the socio-cultural context of students. To achieve these learning outcomes or goals, planning is required and the students need to be motivated for it. Hope is a very important component of positive schooling that underlies the aim of education and schooling, i.e., learning how to learn. Teachers are not there just to pass on the information and facts, but to develop ideas in students, empowering them for lifelong learning, and instilling hope in them that they can achieve in life. It is hope only that sustains life and can do wonders. Finally, positive schooling enables the student to look beyond oneself and contribute to the greater good, do something meaningful for the community and society, that can help in the progress of humankind. It is passing the light on to others where you learn or receive things, get enlightened, and then you give back to others. It helps one to create meaning in one's life, leading to authentic happiness. 14.5.2 Theoretical models of positive schooling. Two important models among others that inform positive schooling are the values in action, via classification of strengths, and the PERMA model of well-being. The via classification can be considered similar to the classification system of mental disorders that we have, such as Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, DSM, and the International Classification of Diseases, ICD. Given the focus of positive psychology on what is good in people, it becomes natural that we have a classification system for our psychological strengths. This will help understand the strengths and virtues in human beings and take steps to cultivate them to achieve success, happiness and well-being. Such a strengths-based classification system will also change the traditional way of diagnosis and treatment of mental disorders. Peterson and Seligman thus proposed a values in action classification system that consists of 24 character strengths organized under 6 overarching virtues. These 6 virtues are wisdom and knowledge, courage, humanity, justice, temperance, and transcendence. Table 14.1 Virtues and character strengths in via classification. Virtues, character strengths: wisdom and knowledge, creativity, curiosity, judgment, love of learning, and perspective, courage, bravery, perseverance, honesty, and zest, humanity, love, kindness, social intelligence, justice, teamwork, fairness, leadership, temperance, forgiveness, humility, prudence, and self-regulation, transcendence, appreciation of beauty and excellence, gratitude, hope, humor, and spirituality. Schools need to focus on these character strengths to create a positive school climate as well as make each student feel confident, capable and valuable. The PERMA model of well-being is given by Seligman, which talks about 5 pillars of well-being indicated by the acronym PERMA: positive emotions, engagement, relationship, meaning, and achievement. Positive schooling needs to focus on creating opportunities for the child to engage in each of these aspects. Positive emotions refer to the feel-good emotions such as happiness, pride, joy, etc. When children are involved in activities they like, they enjoy and can excel in those activities also. For example, a child who enjoys singing will put in more effort in learning singing. That is experienced by the whole school community in positive schooling. Engagement refers to being involved and immersed in an activity so much that you are in a flow and do not notice the time pass by. Mostly, when one uses one's strengths while doing an activity, one feels engaged and in flow. Relationships refer to having positive and authentic relationship with others, which acts as an important source of happiness and fulfillment. Meaning indicates deriving a meaning and purpose in whatever we do. Living a meaningful or purposeful life is what makes us go beyond our limited existence and look at a greater perspective. It instills confidence in the person, motivates and inspires the person to contribute to something larger than the self. Achievement indicates excelling in any field /aspect or experiencing a sense of success. It can be in small things such as completing a storybook in 2 days, keeping your study desk neat and organized, doing exercise for 20 minutes daily, or going for a walk for 30 minutes daily. It will depend on the age of the child. Achieving the set goals helps build confidence, self-esteem and sense of competence in the child. Thus PERMA offers a multidimensional view of happiness and well-being. Applied in the context of schooling, it involves taking up of different activities focusing on feeling good, engaging in meaningful activities, experiencing flow, forming good relationships, and developing a sense of mastery. All these will help in creating a healthy and happy climate in schools. 14.5.3 Positive interventions. In a review study, Davy and Petra have highlighted the importance of school-based positive psychology interventions that aim at promoting mental health among the adolescents. Keyes points out the need for programs focusing on building the positive factors in addition to removal of negative factors. Thus, positive psychology interventions, PPIs, aim at promoting positive behavior among students, enhancing their strengths, and helping them flourish. It enhances their resilience, builds positive attributes, and promotes their cognitive social-emotional skills. The emphasis needs to be on developing the whole student through social, emotional, moral and intellectual development. Positive psychology interventions, PPIs, are characterized as programs, practices, treatment methods, or activities aimed at cultivating positive feelings, cognition, and behavior. Examples of programs that have been used effectively for meeting the various objectives of positive schooling include Bounce Back Program on Resilience, Hope-Based Intervention Program, Positive Psychology at School, a school-based intervention program, the Happy Schools Project by the USCO in Bangkok, Improving Positive Emotions Program, Promotion of Mental Health and Psychological Well-Being Program of NIMHANS, and Happiness Curriculum Program by the Government of Delhi. The Happiness Curriculum, launched by the Government of Delhi in July 2018 for the students of nursery to class 8th in the government schools, focuses on a holistic education. The curriculum involves a happiness period of 45 minutes and consists of 4 parts such as mindfulness, stories, activities and expression. Studies report satisfaction with the happiness curriculum by majority of students, teachers as well as parents. Khanna has also studied positive psychological interventions including gratitude, character strengths and stress management among Indian school students. Majority of the intervention programs focus on development of character strengths and enhancement of well-being among students and to some extent among teachers. However, as the concept of positive schooling indicates, a whole school approach focusing on creating a positive culture and positive climate in the entire school community needs to be followed, that will facilitate functioning of all school staff and students and their well-being. The Collaborative for Academic, Social, and Emotional Learning, CASEL, of USA is a school-wide program which advocates for a systemic social and emotional learning, SALE, along with the academic component across all grades from kindergarten to high school. It focuses on Goleman's 5 competencies of emotional intelligence such as self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship skills, and responsible decision-making. The SALE program involves the entire school community to build a caring and supportive community in which children can thrive and achieve success. 14.6 Positive parenting. Parents always try to give their best for the proper development of their children. They want their child to be happy, healthy, and be successful. However, along with having the intention to see our children flourish, it is also important to know the strategies and know-how of achieving that goal. Since each child is uniquely placed in the particular socio-cultural context, parenting practices and methods need to take cognizance of these. However, there are common grounds and principles, which need to be ensured for parenting to be effective and help children reach their optimum development and thrive in their life. As stated by Petra, the larger goals of parenting are usually neglected in the competitive world where every parent wants their child to be the best amongst others, not the best of herself/himself. As a result, the child may gain wide knowledge, acquire various skills, achieve a lot, but may not develop self-awareness, self-connection and self-realization that will give a true purpose to one's life. Positive parenting refers to the use of positive psychology principles and techniques in child rearing practices. Thus, instead of focusing on what is wrong in the child, it emphasizes what is right and good in the child. It also focuses on the parents themselves being self-aware, being mindful, and learning to see the larger goal of parenting. Listening to the child, understanding the needs of the child, and being a good role model will help the child feel loved and confident. According to CE et al., positive parenting is the continual relationship of a parent and a child or children that includes caring, teaching, leading, communicating, and providing for the needs of a child consistently and unconditionally. Thus it involves nurturing the child, and enabling the acquisition of skills, development of potentials, empowering and thriving of them. This requires a balanced approach to cater to their needs and at the same time making them learn a disciplined way of functioning and good value system. Two main issues in parenting involves how demanding and how responsive the parents are towards the child. This intersection between demandingness and responsiveness gives rise to four parenting styles, namely, authoritarian, authoritative/democratic, permissive, and negligent/indifferent parenting. The authoritative parenting style has been found to be the most effective one as it brings in a positive approach to parenting practice and parent-child relationship. It reflects a democratic approach towards parenting and considers children as individuals in their own right. Such parents exude warmth along with firm discipline. They guide as well as provide instruction, set limits as well as provide freedom to their children. They are caring, supportive, and convey the feeling of acceptance to the child. They value their children for who they are, not for what they lack or achieve. They also have open and clear communication with their children without judging. They exhibit mindfulness in their parenting behavior and interaction with the child. 14.6.1 Mindfulness in parenting. Parenting is a challenging task and can be a stressful experience in the background of various factors such as lack of support, dual working families, competitive world, influence of social media on the young generation, and so on. This requires that we bring in a mindfulness approach to the parent-child relationship that will enable the parents to focus on themselves and their approach to child rearing and also help realize the goals of parenting by developing the child into a good human being. Mindfulness has the potential to enhance the family system and interaction patterns. Being mindful helps the parent in reducing stress, more aware of the child's needs, suspend judgment at the moment, focus on parent-child relationship itself, and become aware of child's well-being. Mindfulness refers to awareness of any object, stimulus or experience in the present moment without passing any judgment on it. As stated by Kabat-Zinn, mindfulness refers to the moment-to-moment awareness that occurs when we pay attention, on purpose, in the present moment, and with a non-judgmental attitude towards any stimulus/experience. Usually, we are not aware of our thoughts, emotions, and how they impact our behavior in the present moment. There is a habitual pattern, which we may not notice in a given situation. We function in an autopilot mode. Parents need to notice their own thoughts and emotions while interacting with their child so that they can regulate their behavior for an effective response rather than reacting to the child. Mindfulness helps one to engage in self-regulation. Mindful parenting is defined as parents' abilities to pay attention to their child and their parenting in a way that is intentional, present-centered, and non-judgmental. A model of mindful parenting developed by Duncan, Coatsworth and Greenberg focuses on mindfulness in the social context of the parent-child relationship. It included the following 5 dimensions of mindful parenting: a. Listening with full attention, b. Non-judgmental acceptance of self and child, c. Emotional awareness of self and child, d. Self-regulation in the parenting relationship, and e. Compassion for self and child. Various studies have pointed out the benefits of mindful parenting. Parents with an authoritative or democratic style of parenting reflect mindfulness in their approach. They take cognizance of their own thoughts and emotions in the specific situation, empathize with the child's needs, and take action keeping in mind the larger parenting goals. For instance, when the child throws out a tantrum when visiting a shopping mall, the parent needs to be first aware of her emotions in the situation, regulate them, and be clear in her approach to child. The parent needs to be firm but loving and understanding towards the child throughout. 14.7 Ways to practice positive parenting. As discussed in the earlier sections, a democratic approach to parenting reflects the best style of parenting. It consists of various skills that help create a positive family atmosphere in which children can learn optimally and achieve their potentials. It ensures a positive parent-child relationship which makes the child self-confident and flourish. Positive parenting focuses on the care and development of both the child as well as the parent. Here we discuss 5 main aspects of positive parenting that will help one to practice positive parenting. Safe and stimulating environment. Create a safe base for the child in which they can explore, learn and grow. Children need to feel secure so that they can develop properly. A secure attachment and strong emotional bonds will help the child deal with any type of developmental challenges. Positive parenting also ensures to provide such an environment that is stimulating enough for the optimal development of the child. Realistic expectations. Parents need to have realistic expectations from their child. It is important to remember that children have their own life and they are not mere extensions of parents. As Khalil Gibran says, your children are not your children, they are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you but not from you, and though they are with you yet they belong not to you. Further, each child is different and influenced by the context, both immediate and larger context in which they live. The ecological theory of Bronfenbrenner, later revised as bioecological model, highlights the influence of multiple systems of surrounding environment on the child's development. The contexts of family, school, neighborhood, community, society and nation, with their laws, customs, and value system, social media and digital world, technological advancements etc. affect the child development and functioning. Later on, he focused on the developmental processes experienced by the individual across the developmental stages. Hence, parents need to understand the child in the context of dynamic interaction of these environments and developmental processes, and have realistic expectations. Positive discipline. Positive parenting does not use discipline in the commonly used sense, that is, it does not use it in a negative sense such as shouting, physical punishment, threatening, shaming, blaming etc. Rather, it uses positive discipline which includes clear and open communication, behaving in an assertive manner, and at the same time understanding the needs of the child and using positive reinforcement. Parents exhibit mindfulness in listening to their child and also being aware of the impact of child's behavior on themselves. Positive discipline, as the name suggests, emphasizes the positive aspects of behavior. It states that there is no bad child, only bad behavior and good behavior. Thus it clearly outlines the good and appropriate behaviors for the child and also the consequences for showing good or bad behavior. It combines firmness with loving and empathetic behavior towards the child. Self-care. The main focus in parenting is usually the child. However, parents also deserve the focus equally. Parents need to take care of themselves so that they can be self-aware and regulate their emotions. It will also help them be empathetic, kind and compassionate towards their own self. Parenting is a round-the-clock responsibility. Parents will always do their best to serve their child's interests. They need to take a break for their own sake so that they can meet their child's needs better. Parenting can be considered as a full-time job. It is definitely a very challenging experience. However, the use of positive parenting can help us make it a satisfying and fulfilling experience rather than being a stressful one. Positive parenting makes the child feel loved, respected and valued. It helps the parents to be sensitive, mindful, and responsive to the parent-child relationship. It can reduce behavioral problems in the child, develop the necessary skills in the child for self-regulation, makes the child responsible, self-confident, and thrive in life. 14.8 Let us sum up the present unit focused on two key aspects in a child's life, that is, parents and teachers, how these need to be informed by a positive psychology approach so that we achieve the ultimate goals of parenting and teaching. The meaning and components of positive schooling and positive parenting were described. You also learned about the models of well-being that influence the application of positive psychology in the school context. Mindfulness as an important approach to parenting was described. Further, you learned about various aspects in the practice of positive parenting.